Yo, what is going on, YouTubers? Jay here, coming back with another e-bike. This one is called the Heybike Mars 2.0. This company reached out to me and sent me this at no cost for a full review. As typical, we are completing here the unboxing. It was shipped via FedEx, and luckily nothing came damaged except for the box on the outside, but everything was nicely wrapped and everything was pretty much safe and sound, which I'm glad to see. This particular e-bike is a fully foldable one, and it has 20-inch by 4-inch all-terrain tires. It comes with a 750 watt motor and a peak power of 1000 watts. Keep in mind that there's another variant that has 1000 watts and a peak power of 1800 watts. So here you guys can see that everything inside is there, meaning the charger, we get the manuals, even some tool sets so that we can assemble it, but I like to use my own. So this e-bike has a maximum speed of 32 miles per hour and a maximum load capacity of 330 pounds, and it weighs about 66 pounds. It comes with fenders on the front and the rear, and we even get a rear rack as well. So here we're just going to continue with the assembly and then talk about the controls. Now here's something awesome to talk about the Heybike Mars is that it has now a full suspension system. Even though it is on the seat post itself, it still counts. Something that I criticize on other e-bike models, but this one has it and I'm very excited. The brakes are mechanical, they're not hydraulic, so I would guess that's my only complaint so far about this e-bike that I can think of. But besides that, this thing looks pretty awesome. We are obviously here adjusting everything to our likes. Let's go ahead and peel everything off. And this is the battery install. It's super simple, but I thought you had to slide it from the top, but it doesn't work that way. So as you can see here, we have the brake levers, we have the light button, the horn, the plus and minus, then we got the side buttons as well, the power keys at the bottom, and then we have the display, the Shimano 7-speed system. As you can tell, we have 7 speeds, and the throttle as well, guys. So to turn it on, just press that button right below the plus and minus, and you can see that we have up to 5 pedal assist modes, which is really cool. And here we have the little light button. The other one is a select button, which also enables you to change trips, odometer, max, and average. We're going to get into the P settings. This is just a repetition of the light and the horn. So press and hold the plus and minus, and that takes you to the P settings. We have about 10 or 14 of them, but I know that P07 is the one for the speed. We're going to see that here in just a second. So as you can tell, guys, we are set at 39 kilometers already, which means that this is the maximum speed. If we try to change it, it goes back to 1. And yeah, so here we are doing a little speed test, just racing the rear side of the bike, and it did about 34 miles per hour. Here's what I enjoy about these foldable bikes. is that look how well they fit inside of a standard SUV trunk. In this case, I am on a Toyota Highlander 2020, and it fits, and there's a lot more space here to fit other things. But luckily today we only have the e-bike, So again, I just wanted to show the convenience of a foldable bike. Just in case I forgot, you can also adjust here the steering bar. I like it at about number 6. That's the perfect adjustment for my torso, I guess. We are set to go, guys. Now, like I said, to start it, it's going to be the button right below where the plus and minus is, and we're going to set it up to pedal assist 1 for now, until we can little by little keep completing the speed test. As usual, pedal assist number 1 will take you to like 6-7 miles per hour approximately, and I can tell this park is kind of flooded. So right here, guys, you're doing exactly 9 miles an hour, which is a little bit faster than our typical speed. So the bike is saying 9.6 and the GPS is saying 9 miles an hour. I'm pretty sure you guys can see that. So yes, we have a calibrated speedometer, and again, all of this is just for your reference. So let's try pedal assist number 2. This is taking us to about 13.6 miles an hour. Let's say 14. Pedal assist 3 is taking us to 18 miles an hour. Exactly 18 miles an hour. Pedal assist number 4, this should take us to around like 22 miles an hour approximately. 21, 22. Which is ideal if you guys want to go at a decent speed and save battery at the same time. By the way, I just unplugged this before coming to this park. I just unplugged it, so we have a freshly charged battery. So in fact, it is taking us to about 23 miles an hour. So what I'm going to do here is go on the actual road. This e-bike has the ability to do up to 29 miles an hour. There we go. We have pedal assist number 5, and you should see here momentarily that we can do some fast speeds, guys. This is awesome. Right now we're doing 29.6. We should be able to hit the 30-mile mark, but as of right now, we did 29.6, which you can say 30 miles an hour. They are advertising it to go up to 32 miles an hour. I do weigh 217 pounds, and the maximum you can load on this e-bike is about 330 pounds. Now that we got our speed test out of the way, let's go ahead and do a stopping power test, as we typically do. Now these are mechanical brakes, these are not hydraulics. We're going to start exactly where that palm tree is to my right. We did it at about 22 miles an hour, which is what we typically do. And well, I gotta say, guys, that took a good average like 17 feet approximately. Keep in mind that these are not the most aggressive brakes that I've seen. Something that would have made this bike perfect, and I truly mean it, guys, perfect, is the fact that if it had hydraulic brakes. And that's all I can think of, honestly. I mean, this is one of those rare bikes that you look at it and you try to find something negative, and it's just almost impossible to do. All right, guys, we know we have 20-inch by 4-inch all-terrain tires. These are considered knobby tires. So what we're gonna do is just that. We're gonna go into our little off-roading here. This is not aggressive off-roading, which means that this is not like soft sand or anything like that, in which I wouldn't recommend it because we don't have a dual motor system. Typically you want to off-road hardcore like that with dual motors, so that way you have traction on the rear and the front. But right now, guys, I gotta say that with this suspension seat, I can feel it absorbing most of the impact, and you can hear it from my voice. It doesn't sound as cut off as when we don't have rear suspension, and it is a joy, a true joy to really get by here with this seat post, guys. I wish that all companies, if they're not including a frame suspension for the rear, to at least include something like this, guys, something like a suspension seat post. And I keep mentioning this on every review, and apparently Heybike noticed this and they did it. Now, if it doesn't come with it, you can always order one from Amazon. That's not a problem. But you guys can agree that having it already from factory and not having to go through the hassle of finding one on Amazon and spending more money is always ideal. Alrighty guys, so here we are on the most aggressive side of this hill. And even though this is not a torque monster, you can feel it pulling. Right now we are doing 12 miles and it keeps increasing. This is a little bit better than our average 750 watt e-bike. Maybe because we have a smaller radius on the tire, being a 20-inch. Well, that helps a lot. But right here guys, we are doing the test off-road again. But this is a much more severe hill climb. And even though it is doing it, it's quite slow. And right here it is reducing to about 5 miles. It is really struggling. I'm just letting it go. It went down to 3 miles. But I'm telling you guys, this is a very aggressive test right here that I do to a lot of e-bikes, and not all of them do great. This one didn't do so great, but it didn't fail. I never had to pedal, but it went up very slowly, meaning that the motor was really struggling. So it is not something that you guys might be doing all the time. Keep in mind here guys that for the suspension you can only adjust the preload. Okay, so if you go clockwise it gets a little stiffer, if you go counterclockwise it gets a little softer. And then you have the option to lock it and it doesn't move at all now, and unlock it. So if you're doing a lot of street ride mainly, you can lock it and that'll make you feel more stable on the road. But if you're doing like me, a little bit of everything, just leave it unlocked and then you can just adjust the preload, whether you want it soft or stiff. I like it right in between, not too soft, not too stiff. So I leave it right in between that setting that we have available, guys. When it comes to the fenders, they do the job quite well. They block, they're not just there for luxury like I've seen on other e-bikes. These actually work, especially the one on the rear. Goes from like almost the mid tire all the way to above mid tire on the front, keeping all the dirt and debris away from the chain and away from all the mechanical components, including the motor itself right here, guys. As per the controls, everything feels pretty nice. What I do like about this particular display, in which I have seen on other e-bikes, is the fact that it is visible even with sunglasses. And the sun right now is currently about like 2:51 p.m. in Florida, and this is our basically middle of the day, so the sun is hitting quite hard. It is a nice sunny day and I can still see everything that is going on here. Another cool thing is that all of these controls are adjustable, so I adjusted the horn and the light button here to be where my thumb feels comfortable. Then you have your little selectors here, the plus and minus for the settings of the bike. The Shimano system also works great, guys. So if I was to pedal, they do change nicely. I haven't had this problem on an e-bike in a very long time. When I first started reviewing e-bikes, I had this brand called Side Rusher, and that bike did have issues. That's why I like to emphasize about this problem, letting you guys know that everything is okay, because it is a possibility that they can come uncalibrated and then you will have to calibrate them yourselves. And the brake levers, they are a little bit on the softer side, or not softer, but like in the loose side, and there's nothing I can do to make them a little bit stiffer. So if you look here, I'm not sure if the camera is capturing this, but they are a little bit on the loose side, but they haven't broken yet. That brake squeal on the rear is getting a little annoying. I guess I will have to use a little brake cleaner and maybe that'll disappear. I had tried to wear it out, and I know it's the rear because this is the rear lever, and when I just press that one it disappears and then it comes right back up. It could be that also the rotor's a little warped. When it comes to the battery, guys, we have so far added about 4 miles, 6 miles into this e-bike. Keep in mind that this one has a smaller capacity than my average e-bike. Typically I get them with 14, 15 amp hours. That's just the average. And I get about 28 miles with my weight and the way I ride, which I never really go below pedal assist number 5. I don't see why anyone would I mean, if you want to save a little bit of battery, you can go to 4, but I usually keep it, you know, at its maximum. I like to go fast, and I typically get 28 miles. I would assume that on a good day, knowing that Florida doesn't have a lot of hills, I might get about 18, 19 miles in total, but that is still lasting more than my average rides. When I go riding bikes, I never exceed 6-7 miles. So that means that I should be able to comfortably be able to ride this bike without the anxiety that it will deplete the battery and leave me stranded. The lights are quite bright at nighttime. Now, they don't have the best angle, so that means that you're gonna get a straight view ahead, but they're not too wide, at least for the front side. And the rear side does a very good job when braking. When you hit the brakes, they actually flash, which provides, you know, some warnings to the person behind you. Also, I like the orange color for that same purpose. It does attract a lot of attention so people can see you better in traffic. Orange and yellow are two very popping colors, and I like it for that reason. The seat, stock seat, is really good in the sense that you don't feel like the need of changing it for a wider one, which is a little bit rare on pretty much every bike that you buy. Normally they have very uncomfortable seats and then you have to upgrade, but this one has a decent padding, and it is you know, wide enough for you to say I feel great on it. Well guys, we have now concluded here the unboxing, assembly, and review of the Heybike Mars 2.0. What an excellent choice. As I said and been saying all this time along, if I had something to complain about, it would be the brakes. Maybe Heybike can listen to this and take that as a reference. Besides that, it is a very convenient e-bike. I do like the tires. I believe these are puncture proof as well. But what I do know for sure is that they are all-terrain and very grippy as well. The folding system doesn't feel sketchy, feels actually very nice and firm. Never had any issues in terms of riding quality. Never felt like I was going to get hurt. It never felt like anything was going to fall apart. And these are qualities we look forward to on an e-bike. Now, the price on this one varies, so you had to find the best deal. I have seen it as cheap as $699 and as expensive as $1,100. It depends on which variant you're looking for. If you go for the 1000 watt model, that's going to cost you a little bit more. But if you are okay with a 750 watt model, then this should be more than sufficient. With this being said, guys, let me know if you have any questions down below. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, and share. And I'll see you on my next one.